with me. No, me. No, me. No. I'm so bored. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you, Mommy!
Hi, I'm Danielle, Creative Media Specialist with the Loken Group, and I have a 10 and a 5-year-old and have been working from home for the last 7 years with young kids in my house for spring breaks, sick days, and summers.
You have to deal with us all day long.
I've tried and tested several different ways to deal with the constant distractions, questions, and of course boredom. The one thing that has helped them and my productivity is the most has been teaching them to time block for themselves. For those of you who aren't familiar with the term time blocking is a great productivity tool that simply divides out or blocks out your day and calendar to make sure that you know what to focus on and when. So a few disclaimers about this. Number one, if you have really little ones, I'd say like 3 and younger, maybe 4, this probably won't help much because toddlers do their own thing. But save it for your upcoming years. Number 2, it does take quite a bit of upfront work. I would say spend a weekend day focusing on this, but it has saved me hours almost daily. Number 3, this is what helped my family, and I would say 70% of the time. All kids and families are different. I can't promise this will help you, but if you are struggling with your kids and your family's time management, give it a try. I am going to go over a few reasons why it works, some tips and things to consider, and how my family has it set up. Since I hate being on camera, let's move over to slides.
Time blocking for kids.
Why it works. First thing, kids want to know what's next.
Can I have a snack? I need something to do. Mommy, can you play with me?
Every single parenting magazine and article tells you to make a schedule for your kids. Yeah, we know, but who really has the time or the energy to do that? Why not let them do the work and build their own schedule? Number 2, they can visualize their day. My 10-year-old generally puts her schedule together first thing in the morning. It helps her know what to expect and to decide what subject she feels like doing today. Number 3, empowering your kids to make their own decisions about their schedule gives them confidence and starts teaching them time management skills that they might not get in a standard schooling. What to time block? Meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Schedule the snacks. Grooming, brush their teeth and hair, baths and showers. Otherwise, they won't do it. Schoolwork, you might want to do it by subject or even by each activity or each assignment. School or friendly Zoom calls. Whenever I get an email from school or from a friend for a Zoom call, I immediately put it in their calendar with the link and everything ready to go, so that way I don't forget about it and they don't forget about it. Mom and dad time. Schedule some time that they can be with their parents. Quiet alone time, whether that's reading, napping, or playing quietly in their room. Extracurriculars, sports workouts, music, clubs. My girls are in hockey, so we roller skate as well as work out together. They're also learning guitar and drums, so practicing daily is on their list. Cleanup and chores, very important, and it will also help save your sanity. Backyard and front yard playtime. Be specific. Don't just say, I'm gonna go play. Say this, I'm gonna do Legos, and then I'm gonna do the puzzle, and then I'm gonna play restaurant. Whatever it's going to be, just let it be specific. And then lastly, free time. We always have this at 5 o'clock. It's do whatever you want, watch whatever YouTuber, play whatever Minecraft you wanna play, watch whatever show you wanna watch. Some tips for time blocking. I recommend 15 to 30 minute intervals. They're used to changing subjects and classes and centers frequently in school, so keep the same pace that they do at their school. Time without their siblings. If you have siblings in the house, schedule time away from each other. The older ones can feel like they are just babysitting all the time, and the younger ones will feel like they're being bossed around. My number 1 piece of advice, it's so important I'm going back on video. Schedule playtime with you. This is by far the most important tip. Put it on your calendar, put it on their calendar. Make sure that you have playtime. With my family, we do an hour at 3 o'clock with me, and my husband gives them a 30-minute window on his lunch break. During this time, I don't look at my email, I don't look at my phone. I get them my full attention. We go biking, we go walking, we play games. It gives them something to look forward to, and they know that this is the time that mom or dad is going to be fun and available to help and play. Depending on your kids, if your kids are younger, I suggest doing playtime in the morning and the afternoon. If your kids are older, the afternoon works really well because that's when they're starting to fight, and then they have that break in their monotony. How we set it up. There are different options for setting it up. We personally opted for digital calendars just because my husband and I are mega supporters of teaching your kids how to use technology correctly and efficiently. I also understand many families don't have enough devices to share, or you might have younger kids who can't quite read or really understand time. Index cards are just as good. If you have an extra one of those hanging shoe holders, put hourly or half-hourly numbers on each pocket and let them throw in index cards with activities for each time frame, or string up yarn with index cards and clothespins or paper clips. For non-readers, the index cards make it easy to draw a quick little image they can understand. Here's what our calendar looks like. We have 2 calendars. We have the yellow calendar set up with the mom and dad meetings and all our time blocks for lunch or playtime. They do not have permission to edit this calendar, and it's based on our settings. The second purple calendar is theirs to make. There are rules. For us, they can't have their 5 p.m. free time until they've cleaned up their toys. Also, 30 minutes of reading is required, 15 minutes of music is required, and school, work, e-learning must be completed. Lastly, make a list of ideas. Kids forget what toys they have and what they can do. Our family has a shared note where the whole family adds ideas as we think of them, day-to-day activities, websites to learn from, projects they could complete, work on, and of course, chores. Finally, a few simple tips to help you teach your kids computer skills. My number 2 most important tip is to teach your kids how to do it themselves. It will take longer in the beginning, but will cause you fewer interruptions later on. Don't point at the screen or touch their computer or mouse, no matter how tempting it is. Use descriptive language to help them find the buttons themselves so they remember it quicker later on. A great script for this is, do you see blank? Use descriptive wording like color, shape, location. Then, can you blank? Tell them to click, drag, whatever. I was so proud of my oldest on her last Zoom call with her class. She unknowingly used this to show her classmates how to change the image on their Zoom calls. Do you see the stop video button at the bottom of the screen? Can you click the arrow next to that and pick set virtual background? Super simple and super effective. Let them fail. We all hate having our kids fail. We all learn from our mistakes, and kids actually pick up on mistakes pretty quick. Once they figure out their mistake, their confidence in overcoming that mistake will power them through the next difficult situation. Last, the hardest one is to be patient. It took us a couple weeks to get into a groove, and they might not like it at first, but it's a part of our routine now. Also understand they won't stick to the calendar all day, every day. Don't blame them. We all go off our time block from time to time. Thank you for listening, and I hope there were some valuable tidbits for your family. If you have any questions about time blocking or the technical aspects of how we set all this up, feel free to shoot me an email at danielles@thelogangroup.com.
Time blocking for kids! You do that at the last.